What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your man Chaz Ellis once again. And I talk to a lot of people, men and women, who come out of relationships in financial ruin. I talk to a lot of people in different tax brackets, some even millionaires, because as you know, I got a lot of different clients, people in different countries, people of different age groups, and a lot of times the situation is the same. They get into a relationship, they find out things don't work exactly the way they planned for them to, and they end up in a worse financial situation than they were in before they entered the relationship. Now, for some people, they have enough money that they can easily absorb some of these problems because some of them are millionaires, and for some of those millionaires they might lose 150,000 and still be able to walk it off because they got multi-millions. But when you're making like 50,000 and you lose $10,000, that can really be a real break or a real bust to your financial situation. So I made this video to help some people out because these are things that people constantly talk to me about, and I see some of these issues coming up, and these are some things that you might want to consider before you get into a relationship, while you're in a relationship, and even after the breakup, to kind of protect yourself so that you don't have to always start over again every time something goes wrong. Number one, check the state. Check the state that you are living in, because some states, whether you have a loan for a house, whether you have car loans, whether you have financial situations like debt, things of that nature, whatever the case may be, if you get married to the person, if you guys are living together, states are different, okay? So you got to make sure you check where you live before you even get into a relationship. Even if you're currently in a relationship, kind of look and see what the rules are, what the laws are, because they vary from state to state, In some states, whatever you bring into a marriage, that's on you. In some states, no, it ain't like that. Okay? In some states, you can keep whatever you had when you got into the marriage, but in some states, not like that. This can also be the case in relationships when you live with people. Some people could be staying in your house and you can't even get rid of them because now that house is basically their house, because they're like a tenant, and you'd have to go through an eviction process to get rid of them. That's just how it is. Now, most states will generally make you have to evict somebody, but depending on how long, it depends on the state. So check the state you live in. Make sure you understand the rules, because I know this isn't all fluffy and nice and everything people want to hear about relationships, but you have to be practical when you get into relationships also, and think about what you're going to do while you're in the relationship and what you're signing up for, but also what can happen if you do break up. Because you may be signing up to take on somebody's debts. You can't get in there, get married to the person, or be in a serious relationship and say, oh, well, I didn't know that this was the rules. I didn't know this is what I was signing up for. It's too late then. Number two, background check. And I know some people are going to get in the little comment section and say, well, I wouldn't date somebody that I need a background check on. This is only for poor people, or this is only for this race or that race. Bruh, like, I sell pretty high level products that cost a little bit of money. So my clients are all types of people. Some of them, like I said, are multi-millionaires. They've dealt with this type of problem before. So whatever like type of money you feel like you're making, it doesn't shield you from anything. A person who has a degree from Harvard and works making six figures at a Fortune 500 company can still be a sexual predator, can still be a criminal, or whatever the case may be. So you might be in a situation where you get in a relationship with somebody, and the reality is y'all can't even rent an apartment together because they're a felon, or they got certain credit issues, or they got all kinds of different problems. They got debts, they got, traffic tickets, and now they drive in your car, or whatever the case may be. What I'm saying is you have to make sure that you know what you're getting into. You may see that they have that type of debt. You may see that they have a criminal past, and you may still want to roll with it. But at least you know what you're getting into, and you're going into it with eyes wide open. A lot of people think this can't happen to me because I'm in this tax bracket. This can't happen to me because I'm this type of person, or I'm that type of person. I'm dealing with somebody who seems educated and intelligent, so this can't happen to me. But what you don't realize is that can happen to anybody. People mess up. People have life issues and problems going on that you don't always know about. And you can seriously play yourself by getting in a relationship with somebody and not taking the time to background check and figure out what is actually going on and what you are signing up for. Otherwise, you might be paying somebody else's child support, bruh. Number 3, no cosign. Don't do it. Please don't do it. When you cosign for somebody, basically you are saying the bank has figured out that it's not a good idea to give you money because you are not a good credit risk. But I will give you money because basically you are loaning them the money once you cosign. I sold cars for a long time and I'm very familiar with the co-signing process and how these loans unravel and how the situation goes bad. I've witnessed this time and time again where people break up after somebody's co-signed and the other person gets left with the bills, left with the car. Now they over here with a car in their yard, or the other person that drove somewhere else driving the other person around the car that they got their name on. And sometimes that person will stop paying the bills, and if you have credit that you actually care about, you have to pay that. Because that's what you did. You are a co-buyer. Look at the paperwork. It says co-buyer, which means you bought that vehicle with them. You're not just somebody who signed their name on a piece of paper. You promised to pay that loan because the bank knew that that person was not going to pay. So when you think about co-signing for somebody, understand the fact that that person is clearly a bad credit risk, which is why the bank would not loan them money without somebody else saying they will pay once that person defaults. Understand that before you even think about doing something like that. And if you still want to do it, think a couple more days and then change your damn mind. Number 4, pay your own bills. If the bills have your name on them, you are responsible for them. Even if you're giving the money to your girl, giving the money to your dude, giving the money to your wife, giving the money to your husband, and they're supposed to pay off those bills because that's supposed to be their job in the house, those are your bills, yours. I understand that people have that type of relationship dynamic, and if you're the person paying the bills, then cool for you. Like if you're paying the bills and they're in someone else's name, well, that's fine for you. You know you. But if they're watching this video, they need to start paying their own bills. Pay your own bills, because the reality is you never know when relationships end. Also, you never know what somebody's priority may be for bills that are not in their name. They may buy a shirt rather than paying the electric bill, and now you're in a situation where you're getting your lights cut off, or you're having to pay penalties and things of that nature, and these are hits to your credit. That's your credit, not theirs. You can't get mad at somebody for not doing for you what you should have been doing for your doggone self. Make sure that you are in control of your financial destiny. Not being in control of your financial destiny is a good way to find yourself on Skid Row or living in your mama's basement at 45 years old, eating Cheetos, putting your name on the milk, talking about, that's my Captain Crunch. I'm telling you, I don't care what your financial situation is currently. I don't care what you're doing right now. You can always take a big hit and fall. Number 5, your account. You need to make sure you have an account that is in your name. Period. You should have an account that's in your name. You are an adult that needs to have money that you have access to that you aren't giving other people access to. I understand marriages can be a little bit different for people, and it's, hey, what's ours is ours. I totally understand that. I totally get that. But at the same time, you have to think about this concept. Marriages end in divorce. Not yours, maybe. I know everybody says that, but it could. And even if it doesn't end in divorce, just having some financial freedom for yourself can have a totally different impact on your life. Sometimes you just need to be able to buy stuff when you need to be able to buy it. Sometimes you just want to be in a situation where if something does happen, say a tragedy befalls the person that you're in a relationship with, say they were to get sued or something like that was to happen, anything can happen because life is life. You at least would be in a situation where if you got sued or they got sued and you guys are married, you have accounts that are separate that may not get frozen. I know that might be a little bit technical for some people, and they're like, what the heck? When would that happen? It could, bruh. It could. You want to be in a situation where you can each access your own money if you needed to and give some to the other person just in case whatever you both have your name on was no longer available. And then, like I said before, marriages can end in divorce. You want to be able to have access to some money if you need it. You want to be able to take something out, at least be able to get a hotel room if you get kicked out your house. You at least want to be able to stay somewhere, buy some groceries real quick, get yourself to the next stop until you can get back on your feet or until whatever situation is adjudicated. You want to make sure that you have some access and some control over your own financial destiny. If you don't, hopefully you'll get lucky and it won't matter. But if it does matter or if something does happen, you'll regret it. All right, hopefully I was able to help you out. Once again, it's your man, Chaz Ellis. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video with somebody else. Also, if you need some extra help, maybe you're going through some of these type of issues in your life, I am not a financial advisor, but I know a little bit and I can give you some help. So make sure you hit me up on the ChazEllisProject.com, get a consultation, detailed question. Also, I do profile reviews for people who want to see if they're doing everything right or maybe, might be making some mistakes here and there that they can rectify. It's your man, Chaz Ellis. Peace.